All right, lads, how you all doing? Listen, I never thought I'd ever be here again. Stonebridge Park, wonderful depot. London Underground uniform, dodgy uniform as well. But the reason I'm here is to basically tell you about all the modifications, what they actually call it, the engineering mods package for the 1972 Bakerloo stock. All right, it encompasses quite a few changes, so I'll tell you about that in a minute. But it is Stonebridge Park depot. I've got no hair left. It's freezing, so I'll get a cup of tea first, all right? During refurbishment of the Bakerloo line fleet, completed 3 years ago, 2 trains were fitted with trial cab air cooling equipment, with the result that in 1995 it was decided to fit the fleet with cab air conditioning. At the same time, the opportunity was taken to introduce other modifications to improve safety and give customer benefits as well. Cab air conditioning gives the train operator a more pleasant working environment, as the cab temperature will be controlled. This reduces cab noise, but only if the drop lights remain fully closed, and so the interlocks are raised and new catches fitted. Fitting cab air conditioning equipment makes it necessary to move the SCD paddles, and new emergency equipment pod is fitted on the J-door to house them. A new, louder replacement whistle is necessary to satisfy rail track standards and provide better safeguards for the underground track workers. The same correct side door enable system is being fitted as is used on many other stocks, while not removing from the train operator the responsibility for safe door operation. It does give a measure of protection which benefits the customer too. Our customer may not even notice CSDE, but they will the digitized voice announcement system we are fitting. DVA is much appreciated by the passengers, as it gives them station stop information, interchange routes and places of interest. Appreciated too is a nice warm saloon, and we are altering the heating controls so that heating can be left set with the control key removed, and providing fans in the ceiling to improve ventilation if it gets too hot. The extra power for the cab air conditioning and the fans will be provided by 2 static converters, and we are taking advantage of this extra power to fit an additional battery on the 3-car unit and a new battery charger. We will show you how all the modifications work, but we must present safety information to Railtrack, and until they accept this, the converters will be isolated, and so the modifications that need converter power will be out of use. Right, I'm back. Had the old Earl Grey from Stonebridge Canteen, so let's crack on with all these modifications. On the right hand side of the front of the train, on the offside I think you call it, you'll see something bright and shiny. It's actually made of 9 karat gold. Well, it's not actually, but it is the new train whistle, and I'll start with that. Right way, yeah? Boy, good old 72s, eh? Nothing's changed. Right, actually, quite a few things have changed. And like I said, the first thing I'll tell you about is the whistle. Now this whistle, it's in the same position as it always has been, except you'll notice, well, a big difference. It's extremely loud. Some of you will actually say it's obnoxiously loud, but the reality is it actually conforms with Railtrack's standards. So I've got to do this, sorry lads, but I've got to press it. Chico, that whistle is an absolute killer. Right, modifications inside the cab. They will all, apart from the whistle, need the wonderful control key. But before we continue, this video does not replace the RS notices, so please read them carefully. All right, whilst I stick this in, you get in here. Control key in. Right, getting the power for the cab air conditioning couldn't be easier. The static converters are underneath cars 2 and underneath cars 6, and they're actually operated via the MA set and MA trip buttons. When you press the MA set button, the converters actually kick in as well. And if you want to see if they're actually working properly, there's a shrouded amber lamp located on the offside of the back wall. When it's lit, it indicates a healthy 3-phase supply. Right, above us in the center we have this unit which controls all the air supplies. The air is actually sucked in through the center, is actually blown out left and right through these vents on the outside, just here. Inside the MCB unit over here, we have a cab air conditioning control switch, which basically powers the fans in this cab. Air conditioning in this cab is controlled by two rotary switches behind the driver's seat. They have different positions. They have off, high, medium, and low. And the fan speed has low, medium, and a pretty noisy high. Beside that, you also have a cab light, a new cab light position. You have off, you can have, ooh, what's happened there? Hang on, there's off. You can have the left light on, you can have both lights on, or you can have just the right light on, or totally off. Right, the brains of the air conditioning unit for the cab are behind this panel. I know what you like, blokes. Don't try to get in there. It's only accessible by the maintenance personnel. Alright, while I'm here, the knee space heater and the cab heater still work as they always have done. So even though you've got the thermostats going and all the rest of it, these can be still operated normally. So if you get too hot, switch these off. Before we move on, I'd like to point out this light. You'll find one in each cab. It basically tells you that the new battery in the 3-car unit is charging. If it's not on in your cab, excuse me, go to the other cab and find out if it's a light. If it isn't a light, then obviously you tell the controller that your new battery isn't charging. What you're looking at now is the good old drop light, which is much higher than it used to be. This prevents the drop light from actually moving down. Now you cannot move the train forward at all with the drop lights down at all. If you do need to open it for any operational reason and drive the train, as you can see, these drop light interlock cutout switches are cut in at the moment and sealed. Do not, under any circumstances, obviously unless it's an emergency, break the seal. Always avoid doing this at all costs. Dropping the drop lights on the driver's side is extremely dangerous, I don't have to tell you that. And even in emergency, if you have to drop the drop lights on the offside, only do it to a minimum. And of course, wear the ear defenders every time. Right, that's that. Right, the saloon, heat and vent, they're all controlled from this panel in the offside of the driver's cab. The fan cowls in the saloon cars now have fans fitted behind them, and 2 of the 6 fans in each car use battery power and keep working if the traction goes off. The other 4 depend on the static converters, and all the fans are thermostatically controlled, and the thermostat also controls the saloon heaters. The heaters can be left set, and they can work whether the control key is in or out. The digital voice announcement, or as you like to call it, the DVA, is actually controlled from the control unit here. Good job it wasn't here when I was here, otherwise I'd still be here. Anyway, it's controlled from the control unit. It would take too much time on this video to show you all of the features, but notice that the DVA uses the public address equipment to make its announcements and uses the same power circuit. It can be switched off here if it becomes defective. The display panel will tell you to select the starting station. To show the stations, press the arrow keys. When the station is displayed, press Enter. Do not press Enter until you are at the platform. The DVA will then know where the train is. There is a selection of manually triggered messages in the DVA, and these are listed on this label. Just press the button. Notice too, the display lights up, so to avoid distraction, do not use the buttons while the train is moving. Another thing, the DVA will make a mind the doors announcement at each station after preset station dwell times to assist the regulation of the service. The display counts down from 10 seconds. Remember though, it remains the operator's responsibility to close the doors safely. The public address system still works and will interrupt any DVA messages. Use the PA handset as usual to make emergency or other broadcasts immediately. Don't worry, the system will hold back any interrupted automatic announcements and broadcast them at the first opportunity. We're assisting the train operators by fitting correct side door enable to these trains, better known as CSDE. It's the same train, aerial and station loop system from Redifon that's fitted to the Piccadilly line and District line among others. And if you've worked on these lines, it'll be familiar. And in any case, you'll receive one of these folders. The override button and zone lamp are here. And a good safety point is that if the override button is operated, you can only open the doors using the controls on the rear wall. The desk buttons will not work for that station stop. Right, I'm off lads. That's the end of the whistle stop tour of the Bakerloo modifications. Did I say whistle? See you later.